Hi, Schwanzy. Schwanzy. I'm gonna call you Schwanzy. Is that okay? Schwanzy. Oh, Schwanz in my arse. Oh my god. Schwanz in my arse? What is a schwanz? But it sounds like schwanz in my arse. Schwanz in my arse. Okay? That's something. That's something about a butt, isn't it? That's something about a butt. Schwanz. 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 Oh, Schwanzy is on SoundCloud. That's... Schwanzy translation. Hi, yo. Hey, Tracer. Translating to Schwanz. It means a penis. You know. That's an awesome name, dude. Oh my goodness. Zam. Schwanz. Schwanz in my arse? Later sooner? Is that a BTTV emote? It's not showing up in Restream chat. How are you doing? I'm just waking up. We're gonna record something, and I'm gonna do something I don't usually do. Which is, I am going to, I mean, this is stupid, useless stream, as it says. But I'm gonna do something where, instead of actually just, like, wasting time, after my, this is brand new. I'm just gonna do an LSF react. And then I'm immediately going to edit it and upload it. Actually, we're not even gonna edit it. We're just gonna upload it. So we're gonna do a run. We're actually gonna do this. Like, we're gonna do it during stream. Obviously, the whole point is, not that it's... I could have told you that. That it means penis. Yeah, schwanz in my arse. I'm just... Oh my goodness. Well, penis is in your name, but I don't know if that's, like, actually against TOS. It's in German. You love my hair? Thank you. I think it's a mess. I'm trying to set it up, because it's, like, too flowy right now. It needs to be in, like, slightly prim and proper. Slightly prim and proper. Because I'm a businesswoman, okay? Like, I gotta be prim and proper. Even though I'm in my pajamas. But I put a bra on, okay? At least I did that. Okay, I didn't just start stream. I almost did, but I'm like, no, I don't want to have, like, nipple outlines showing up, okay? You're not even gaslighting me? Oh. That means you are. Here, let me try this. Everything's fine. You did nothing wrong. Okay. Nope. How about oh, there we go. A little bit. No. No, that's too weird, isn't it? It's off to the side. Like, it's the back of my hair off to... I don't know, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Not too bad. We don't care. We don't care about perfection. Okay? This morning I'm very proud of myself. I actually did the morning routine I set out to do. I opened up a notepad. Well, first of all, I woke up. I did my yoga headstand. You know, you put your don't try this at home unless you really know what you're doing. You have to have it builds your core though. But you put your arms like directly on the floor, and then you put your head. I have like a pillow cushion thing, and you put your head down, and I'm able to lift myself up without using the top bunk. Usually, when I started, first of all, you do it against a door or a wall for safety, of course. And I put my leg up here, and then pulled myself up. And I would lean up against the wall, but slowly, after like a few weeks or so, like over time, I'm learning to like not use the wall as much. Put it behind your shoulder? What? But anyway, yeah, and so like I put my, it's really good for exercising your core. And it activates your like lymphatic system, like, you know, because it pushes down on your skull, and there's a bunch of like lymphatic systems back here. Oh, you meant the ponytail? Put it behind my shoulder, yeah, like that. And then I got this weird thing that I got. I like to keep things away, but it's not always possible here. How about this? That should be better. No, not really. Because it gets caught, like it gets caught, like over here, and I hate that. I hate it so much. I don't want to break my thing. Okay. Yeah, we're being super lazy, low effort, low energy, as usual. But I actually, after I did my headstand for as long as I could, I tried to do it several times throughout the day. It exercises your core, improves digestion, activates the lymphatic system. Yeah, I'm still wearing PJs, we don't care. Low energy, low effort. It's about like putting yourself in the direction where you want to go, okay? That's how I work, okay? This random, like, stupid autistic girl trying to, like, you know, like, pretend that she's okay. Okay? Pretend that she can do stuff. You know, I can give some semblance of like, you know, I'm not just gonna give up. You know, I could just give up and be like, oh, I'm just like, you know, I'm autistic, let me just give up on everything. I'll just let everybody take care of me. Blah, 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 blah. You know, which is fine, obviously. I need help. But, you know, I'm getting the help I need. And I'm going to be getting that SSI. Really frickin' damn sure. I cannot have a job. It was even declared in the hearing that a hypothetical person who sounded exactly like me could not be employed by the number 0. Okay, that's very. In one way, it's kind of well, you can't even tell because you can't tell autism by appearances. You also can't tell based on someone's actions. Contrary to popular belief, there's a lot of misconceptions about autism. It's 100% internal, and sometimes, yeah, like, if you stick around long enough, you'll probably see it. It manifests itself externally sometimes, depending on the severity of like the day or the moment or whatever. It has manifested itself in the form of extreme PTSD and agoraphobia, as well as like amplifying my depression and anxiety. So it has created me like virtually like non-functional, to the point where it's like, it's not that I can't do anything, it's that if I try to do things, there's always the possibility I'm gonna crash and burn burn bridges. And not only that, you know, like it's just like, you know, I lose so much. Like I lose so much. If like I make so many gains. If I didn't have my therapist, if I didn't have my doctors, and if we weren't pursuing this SSI, I would just crash and burn continually. Because, you know, yeah, I could get the semblance of like, oh look, I'm working really hard, I'm doing all this, and then like I get some kind of like you know, income or whatever, and then suddenly everything just gets like falls to the ground, and I'm destroyed, and I have nothing, and I have to start over again, and it gets harder each time. So, you know, not to say that I can't try, but I need a safety net. And hopefully, I don't know, hopefully I can build up enough equity somewhere, like build up enough money and then buy some stocks or like do something like that. Try to make a bunch of money. Who knows? If I can get some success, I need to create a safety net. That's basically it. I basically need like 10 times the amount of FU money than everybody else. If that makes any sense. If you know what FU money is, like fuck you money. It's like, it's where you could basically tell everyone to fuck off and you'd still have everything you need to live for like a while. Like you can pay all your bills, like rent or mortgage or whatever, like for like a year or two. But I basically need 10 times the amount. Like I need to have like a couple of years worth, not just like 1 or 2. Like I need like 10 years worth of fuck you money. Otherwise, I'm going to crash and burn. And yeah, obviously that's not very reasonable to expect. So that's why, you know, SSI is going to be a big deal. It's not going to be a ton of money, but it's going to be something, which is better than nothing. Right now I'm earning probably around $50 a month. And that's not enough to live on. You know, even SSI, that is not enough to get me out of this trailer. Maybe, unless I can get like a roommate situation. But I still feel like I need to like, you know, work my way up a little bit, save up a bit. I could like save up a bit so I can have a little bit more cushion. Because I don't want to just straight up like get my money and then move out and then be screwed like a few months down the line. I mean, unless it was, you know, I just want to save up money before I start paying money, if that makes any sense. They're going to give me a big chunk of change at first. Not an insane amount, but like a year's worth. So I would say about like 10K or something like that. They're going to give me a big chunk of change first. And I'm going to be able to take care of myself a little bit. And, yeah, the lawyer is going to take, like, a part of that. And, but, yeah. I opened up, after I did my core, after I did my, headstand, after I, you know, it's like it's a yoga technique. It's like yoga headstand, I guess. After I did my headstand, I opened up a text document for the day and was very deliberate and very, very short. So I want to start a habit of every single morning for my personal needs, because I use my stream as like a kind of more public journal, as for personal use only. I'm opening up a document every day to remind myself of the progress I've made, and then also set out goals. And one of my goals is that even though I set out goals, I don't have to solve everything today, and I'm not a failure if I haven't achieved them. I need to be kind to myself. That's what my therapists have been reminding me. So just be kind to yourself. Because I have made so much progress. I have done so many things that most people will never be able to do. Unfortunately. You know, especially like, you know, an autistic person going through a difficult thing that is difficult for anybody, period. You know, going through medical transition, well, social and medical transition, and personal transition. You know, it's not just gender related, but mostly gender related transition. You know, I've been transitioning into a professional woman, okay, like professional, like trying to build a career for myself. Trying to transition into like a a person who can take care of herself, also transitioning medically into, you know, the woman I, you know I need to be physically, which is not perfect. There's a lot of things that I want to change still, you know, but those surgeries are happening today. Not today. Those surgeries are happening this year, okay? That's how I need to think, okay? I need to think this year means today. Today, okay? Okay. Okay, so today, you know, so today is yesterday. You know, I mean, tomorrow, I mean, today is going to be tomorrow's yesterday. And so this whole year is going to be in the past. And so I need to, like, in order to try to ease that anxiety of, like, oh my God, it's taking forever. You know, I've already been, like, over 2 years into this transition, and I've put in a lot of effort, and a lot of waiting, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, a lot of you know, like, you know, a lot of rough times, and I don't think I'm able to see it right now because I'm, like, you know, trying to survive it. So in order to survive something, you have to be strong enough to not experience it as deeply as it is. I think there will be a heavy grieving process after I finish my last surgery, because I'm having orchiectomy at the end of February, but that's kind of like a consolation to wait, because I'm getting the full bottom surgery later in the year. In like about 2 weeks, I'm having the consultation for that, but I have the surgery date for the orchiectomy set already. Just I have to make sure to get a COVID test within 4 days of it. And it has to be an approved location, so I'm waiting for that phone call where they tell me where the approved locations are. And of course I have to do it within 4 days, so I literally cannot make time move faster. So there's a lot of things I can't control, okay? So it's like there's things that I need to, like, recognize that there's literally nothing I can do about it, but try to do my best to wait. But I want to start doing that every day. And I meditated. And it was like, you know, I've been meditating over the past 2 years. I've been learning meditation techniques, but I haven't really been practicing it except for, like, with my therapist, or, you know, I was in, like, some therapy groups as well. You know, we would do, like, you know, coping techniques and meditation and all that. And my therapist was helping me with visualization meditation, like where I visualize myself going through an action that usually causes me a lot of anxiety, and picturing myself, because I'm not stressed out and anxious all the time. Sometimes I'm extremely calm, and sometimes I'm really happy even, and, you know, because I'm human. But, like, the visualization meditation was like, you know, closing my eyes, like, in a comfortable, like, you know, breathing, and imagining myself in a situation that causes me a lot of stress, but completely calm. Like imagine putting myself in a situation, but instead of, you know, being all worked up and anxious, imagining myself, like, looking and around and feeling, like, the moment. And it was actually really good. I'm a lot better at it than I think I am. Maybe that's to do with obviously my autistic brain, a lot of chess as well, and, you know, I suck at chess, okay, like, you know, I completely suck, low rating, basically Iron League, like, if you want to compare it to, like, League of Legends or something, okay, like, bottom of the bottom, maybe not the bottom of the bottom, but definitely the bottom, and besides that, though, chess has really helped my life in a lot of non-chess ways, which I know a lot of people, like, will argue is not really, like, you know, why not just do the thing? Like, people will say, like, why not just do the thing? Like, why prepare for the thing? But you have to remember I'm autistic, okay? So I have to, like, prepare for the thing. I was actually harassed my whole life for it. You know, I had a brother, or I have a brother, who, when I was younger, he made fun of me for, like, oh, you know, Rebecca, like, you're always preparing. You know, it's like Spaceballs. We're always preparing, just go! You know? But then you see literally why you have to prepare is because, like, he went and he fell down. Like, come on. Like, you have to prepare first. But I literally have to prepare things mentally, and it takes a lot more preparation than I think I even get myself credit for it. Because I'm trying to break away from my family's mindset. Because my family, they have a history of thinking they don't need help, of thinking that needing help makes you weak. But it's quite the opposite. I think it's pretty weak to try to do everything on your own, especially if you're failing, because then you need external. You need external, like, objective assessment. And I was strong enough to know that I needed that. I don't know how I got there, but I did. Well, I know how I got there, but it was still an accident. I had to go through years of homelessness, drug addiction, alcohol addiction when I was in my early 20s. I had to go through the homelessness, of course, sobering up, and then I had to go through, like, intense college. I really put a lot of work into college. I really think education is useless if you don't find personal meaning from it. Like, obviously, maybe in some situations you go to college, you can get certification. That's one thing. But I mean, like, most cases, especially in the case of, like, music education, which is what I did, there's really nothing that the degree itself will really give you. And I didn't even finish my degree. But I found a lot of personal meaning from it. Because I put a lot of work into it. I would practice at least an hour a day, if not, like, 3 hours. Not at once. I learned how to parse out my practice, deliberate practice, and this is not counting the rehearsals. This is not counting me just messing around. This is deliberate practice on my clarinet, doing long tones, doing scales, arpeggios, doing repertoire work, etudes, doing the actual deliberate study, which is separate from, like, just messing around or just performing, or rehearsal. And I put in, like, between 1 to 3 hours every single day, for, like, 5 days a week, at least. Sometimes 6 days a week. Sometimes a little less, obviously. I'm human. But I got a lot of personal meaning out of it. And, I took music theory, jazz theory. I wrote music. I wrote arrangements out by hand. I did, different voicings, chordal voicings by hand. I learned chord movement for jazz theory, and chord analysis. Both methods. There's two main methods. Like, there's the more contemporary method for, like, that's taught in, like, more contemporary music schools, and then there's classic theory. And I think both are very useful. I don't like limiting myself. Some people are like, oh, I'm only classical or I'm only jazz, but music is music. It doesn't matter what genre, doesn't matter what instrument, because you always have this one instrument, which is your voice, and even then you have your brain. So your brain is really your instrument, and then you whatever you do, no matter what instrument you play, you have your brain, and it goes through your body, and it goes through, if it's a wind instrument or your voice, it's directly going through from your diaphragm through your vocal folds and escaping in whatever shape you make in your oral cavity. And it's not created from your throat, not created from your chest. It's created from the air going through the vocal folds. But even then, you do that, and then it goes through like an instrument. So it's not about the instrument, it's about you. When you study music, you're studying you. You're not studying the instrument, A lot of musicians will say, oh, I'm a guitarist, or, you know, I'm a clarinetist, or I'm a trombonist, or whatever they say. But really, you're a musician, and you can pick up any instrument and play. If you're doing it right. If you're doing it right, you can pick up any instrument and learn it. Obviously, you're going to focus on one, and that's going to be natural. You're going to find one. And, you know, interestingly enough, I studied clarinet. I love clarinet. I love saxophone, particularly like tenor saxophone. But interestingly enough, flute is like my most natural go-to instrument. So I feel like flute is like my instrument. But I don't really consider myself a flutist. Or flautist if you're really, you know, pretentious. You know, I don't really consider myself a flutist or a clarinetist or a saxophonist. I don't even consider myself, I mean, I would say woodwind doubler, but I don't even consider myself that. I'm just a musician. And even then, I'm not just a musician, like, I am me. And which goes even beyond my name. Like, I'm Rebecca Lauren. But beyond that, I am my own idea of who I am. If that makes any sense. Okay, let's try to make some low effort content. You know, we're just trying to get in the right direction. We're not trying to be perfect, because perfection is like the killer of progress. You try to be perfect, and you end up making excuses for why you don't do things. And I know this because I've done that many times in my life. Just continue to make excuses by saying I'm perfect. Hey, Sam. So let me set a marker in the VOD. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to record this, and we're going to do this live. I'm actually going to record this, and then I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to restart the stream, and then I'm going to highlight like what I need to for this segment. I'm getting banned. No, I'm not. And then I'm going to... Well, because I'm going to restart the stream, and then I'm going to upload to YouTube after I get the edited highlight. And we're actually going to publish this LSF commentary. Even though it's super low effort, you know, whatever. Nobody's going to watch it. Maybe somebody will. I mean, literally, you're watching it live, so somebody's watching it. And then I'm just going to put it up. And then... we're just gonna do whatever, because after this we've already achieved everything that I've set out for today. Anything else is extra. I do have some other stuff I want to edit off stream because of TOS, but sanitizer, yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Marker. 37-minute, 30-second. Nope.
You bake it for 30 minutes.
What the fuck?
What's up, guys? Streamer TV, and first up in the news, we have Summit.
I don't even know what the context is there. You know what? A lot of these LSF stuff, it makes me curious about a stream, and so I feel like that's the way to watch streams, is to watch clips until you find something that's interesting, and then you go into the VOD to find out the context if you're interested. Instead of watching a streamer for like 12 hours a day, trying to wait for something and wasting time, I feel like it's way better to just like wait for clips that pique your interest, and then you go into the VOD if you're interested, because then it's like it filters out all the stuff. You know, you get only like the most key moments. That's in my opinion. I don't want to just spend 12 hours a day watching Twitch. Okay, like.
1G. Now, Summit has had his fair share of interesting encounters lately. He's experienced everything from listening to Apex Legends teammates while rant to dominating stream snipers on Escape from Tarkov. He managed to keep his cool throughout them all. However, the same can't be said about his latest encounter with a toxic fan who roasted him over what he deems to be suboptimal play on Hearthstone.
Okay, another person who's just like bugging a streamer over their play. And obviously a lot of streamers have, people have been dying for content lately. I think COVID really set off Twitch streaming and well, live streaming in general. But I feel like it's just become so saturated. I think everybody's starting to get really a lot of burnout. There's some exceptions because like OTK, I feel like they took things up a notch. They started doing more variety content that's not game related, which is really good for television because a lot of television has done really well. With like if you look at like Nickelodeon, like Nickelodeon would have like the Slime Time Live and stuff like that. And like, there's a lot of game shows and stuff like that. And OTK has really figured that out, that it's twitch.tv. It's TV. You want people to actually like watch and enjoy it. And while gaming is still a part of it and will always be a part of it because literally streaming is a medium and not a genre. And so it's like the streaming medium is just literally recording stuff live. Like I'm doing this LSF recap live. The reason you want to do variety is because like you get so much burnout, and I feel like a lot of these streamers, like, I don't want to accuse Pokimane of anything, but honestly, like the whole stuff with Gideon and all that, the hate raid, she's had many hate raids in the past, and I've talked about this before, but like I feel like they're trying to stage like a narrative. And everybody knows this intuitively, but like I really feel like this is a deliberate effort to try to teach people why it's like I don't know what was wrong with that. Basically like the whole process of like going through getting hate rated, responding to it, and then the recourse of that and any kind of redemption or whatever, going through the whole process in a narrative, which is kind of interesting. But I feel like people are just really dying for content, and obviously people are clipping stuff and putting up on LSF, and then it gets a lot of media attention within the Twitch sphere, and so it's like we're seeing a video of like Summit, who's a pretty cool streamer and he's a pretty chill guy. There was the issues with GTA RP and how he got like banned and stuff, and there's always like this little teeny tiny drama that happens with each streamer, and it's like it's like people like seeing drama, and it's just I feel like the video game content is pretty much dry. Like I think the well ran dry. Honestly, I mean, the only people who seem to like video game content are the streamers themselves, and obviously the viewers who are just like hardcore lifetime viewers, or people who are trying to learn how to play the game. Like people who are trying to get better at the game, they watch like pros play. Like if you're a pro, or if you're like even not a pro but you're like skilled at the game enough, and you're learning the game and you want to see how that person plays, like your character or whatever, depending on the game, that's going to take a different form. But I do feel like video game content is pretty much done for, but it's not done for. It's always going to have a place. But I really do feel like if you really want to stand out, you have to do what OTK is doing, which is like make entertainment. And it's about people, because if you notice, the reason we're watching this is not because it's about Hearthstone or whatever game, it's because it's about Summit. And even Summit, he's like not, he's kind of more reserved. I mean, I'm sure he's got like a lot of fun content. I don't know all of his content. Like I said, I don't watch 14 hours a day of streaming. I kind of like only see like little bits and pieces. But from what I can tell and from the times I've been in his stream, he's pretty chill and reserved, and I don't know, it's just like that.
Explained that the fan didn't need to tune into his stream if he didn't want to. However, he believes that the fan wanted to watch someone who isn't great at the game just so he could roast them. Here is Summit1G's response to the fan.
I think that's okay. Yo, Mage Look, or Meg Look, Magu Look, whatever your stupid name is. Catch the ban hammer. 126 messages here too, man. Hey, later. Don't laugh at my place. Don't make fun of my place. It is what it is, dude. I'm bad or I'm not. You're good. That's fantastic. Don't sit there and talk. I don't like it. There's so many good players on Hearthstone, man. They're everywhere. Well, I don't know if they're everywhere, but you know, they're on Twitch, man. Go watch them. Those guys won't make as many misplays. You want to watch someone who sucks at a game? That's why you're here. Why the f would you make fun of it? Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you're banned. It sucks. You can't even see the chat laughing at you right now.
There was this one dude who was trying to hit on me at one of the bars. He was way older than me. He was like 35 to 40. But nothing.
Yeah, and you know, she's telling this as like a joke, but honestly, like, this is really commonplace. Like, it only recent, I mean, I don't really go out in public, but honestly, this was a huge shift for me, and I'm like, you know, I'm not trying to like say, oh, look at me, I'm like abused, or I'm like a victim or whatever. But you know, one thing I noticed about being a woman, is like, I was in the DMV just getting my driver's license because I had, because I legally changed my name, and gender. So I was getting my driver's license, and I walked out, and there was this guy, like mumbling behind me, and I didn't think he was talking to me. I thought he was like on the phone or something. And he said, you know, I heard, "You're beautiful," and I was like, oh, is he talking to me? And I just kept walking to my car, and then he like kept walking towards me, not like in a menacing way, but it was just really creepy. And then he said, you're beautiful. Do you want to do something sometimes? And I just like, I just like started, I was like, got quickly into my car, and he was like out, like kind of approaching my window. And like he said like came up, and I said, "Goodbye, parking lot person." And I drove the fuck away. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. And that's only tip of the iceberg, okay? And you know, I've only been seen socially as a woman for like about 2 years. And then it wasn't even until then that I feel like, you know, you get some booba, and you know, I'm not afraid. You know, obviously I'm wearing pajamas right now. That's because I don't feel like it. If I want to wear something that shows my body, I shouldn't have to cover up because of weirdos, okay? They're the ones who are wrong. Like, I should be able to wear my stuff. If I want to be proud of my body and love my body and express myself, I should be able to do that. However, like, you know, obviously some countries you will get killed if you don't cover up, which is really fucked up. But you know, it's like, I shouldn't have to cover up just because I don't want to get harassed. You know, and that's tip of the iceberg, okay? Like, this is only like a, you know, kind of like earlier, like summer of 2021, after like about 2 years of hormones, and you know, I'm going to be getting some surgery. It's going to make me even more feminine. And it's like, you know, my facial surgery is, you know, most people aren't going to be able to see my genitals, so that's not going to really make a difference, as far as like people out in public, you know, so it's going to be really rough, okay? Like, I'm only tip of the iceberg. You know, she's been a woman like her whole life, okay? Like, you know, a girl and a woman, like, you know, so many girls and women have experienced this kind of harassment, and it's like, I feel like you get this kind of stuff, and you just kind of like wave it off, because you have to, because otherwise you'd be just like a victim all the time and upset. But really, it is really fucked up, and I think a lot of men, they hear about this and they're like, oh, that guy was a weirdo. Like, you know, not all men are like that. And it's like, it's a lot of men, okay? Like, it's not just one guy, and it's not just an isolated incident. It's not just Emiru. Like, it's every single woman has a story similar to what she's saying.
Nothing wrong with that, but just saying, he was like 10 plus years older than me. And one of the things he asked me, he's like, "Do you do stocks? Do you care about crypto?" And I was like, I was gone.
Okay, so I feel like I saw this when she was streaming it. The thing is like, okay, like maybe he noticed her, maybe he was stream sniping. You know, that's the thing too, and it's not just because she's a girl. Okay, so you have to understand, but like, there is like this extra, I mean, sorry, woman. Okay, there is this, I mean, I refer to myself as a girl, but I usually, like, you know, try to not insinuate that, because some women don't like being called a girl, okay? You know, just like, you know, like, but I refer to myself as a girl, okay? Like, I identify as a girl, like, I'm you know, obviously I am a woman, but like, I don't go around like, you know, I refer to myself as a girl. Anyway, I feel like there's a little bit of extra like awkwardness and maybe a little bit of nefariousness when somebody approaches a like streamer and she's female, because it's like there's this extra fear. There's PTSD in a lot of women. I have a lot of PTSD, and that's not even just related to being a woman. It's just gender related in general. And also just past experiences with people who have hurt me. And so it activates PAT, and I don't think people understand that you might think that you're being okay, and yeah, objectively maybe it's fine, but usually I'll recognize that my PTSD doesn't always have to do with the person, but I just wish people would be a little bit more aware of that and a little bit more a little bit more understanding and have a little bit more empathy, because like if you might go up to a man and do something, but if you do that same thing to a woman, it'll activate PTSD. And so not to say that it's your fault, but like I think it's something a lot of men should be a little bit more aware of, because going up to like a successful or rich person, like more financially well-off person, and asking them about stocks or whatever, okay, that's a little awkward for anybody. Like if you went up to Mizkif and did that, that would be really awkward, because these are all kind of like, it's really inappropriate. Like you don't just go up to somebody you've never met, especially if you know who they are but they don't know who you are. It's one thing if you just like want to autograph or something, but you don't know this person, you're not friends with them, you don't just start a conversation about stocks with somebody you just met. I mean, obviously if you're at a bar, okay, it's different. If you're at a bar, that's kind of where you can try to approach people. I don't think she's trying to like tell a story. Like this is kind of like, this is like the more I mean, I don't know the exact experience, so maybe it was a lot creepier than it was. Maybe it was a lot less creepier than it seems. Who knows? Either way, it's none of my business. It's I feel like a lot of people, this whole parasocial thing, it's okay to like want to know about other people. That's human nature. So when people say parasocial as a problem, when you start feeling like you know the person and that you like understand what someone's going through to a point where it's like you're making assumptions about people and stuff like that, that becomes a problem, because we literally, streamers, they are not your friend. Doesn't mean you can't like be inspired by them. Doesn't mean you can't respect them, follow their career, and obviously, you're going to care about somebody, especially in the streaming medium, because a lot of streamers share their lives in a very intimate way. And so obviously you're going to be along for the ride, but never think that you know the person and that you know what they should have done or like whatever. But at the same time, like I'm imagining this situation, it sounds pretty reasonable, like a normal bar encounter. I don't really go to bars, but honestly, like, it's pretty normal to approach somebody in a bar. It's what you do. Like if somebody tells you to go away, you go away. Like if somebody looks uncomfortable, you should probably back off. Picking, as an autistic person, that's one thing I've like don't have. Well, I guess I don't know what I don't know, but I've learned in order to survive, I've really learned how to, to a fault, I've learned how to like read, like at least even too much, like to a fault. Like I said, I read into what people's actions are so that I know that I'm not going to be overstepping boundaries. But the problem is then I end up like overdoing it and I end up freezing and like not being able to, and having like extreme anxiety. So that's a problem I'm working on, but because I wasn't diagnosed until I was 31. So my whole life I had to develop my own tools, and my own tools are faulty, which is basically the summation of like the past couple of years, is I've been trying to undo all the damage I did. But in some ways I did some things that are very unique and that give me a lot of superpowers. Okay. So, it's not the end of the world. But just know it's like, I think it's pretty cringe to like approach random strangers, like in general. That's something I want to come, I don't know. As a woman, I think I solved that problem. As a woman, people are going to approach me. Okay. And interestingly enough, I don't know. I feel like I've always been pretty approachable. Even before, even when I was, you know, I want to do air quotes because like, I would say more masculine, but honestly, I pretty much looked almost exactly the same as I do now, except now I'm more of a feminine side, and I have booba. But you know, like, and I have like, you know, feminine hips, and you know, my skin is soft, and I have, you know, female pheromones. I smell different. I feel different. I taste different. I've tasted myself, by the way. Like, I taste different. I taste, you know, like estrogen changes a lot. Okay, I don't think people understand. A lot of people will say like, oh, they associate genitals with whether you're gay or not or whatever. Like, oh, you know, that's a man. It's like there's a man tastes and smells different than a woman, even if we have genital, like trans women, like we taste and smell and feel like cisgender women. So, so it's because of estrogen. It sets your body chemistry. And so it's something I didn't anticipate, because I mostly just wanted. I always knew I needed the genitals. So it's like, when I'm going way off topic here. Basically, when I'm in public, I think I kind of like, I think I kind of solved the problem, because I always felt like I was afraid of approaching people, because when I was a little kid, I actually got in trouble and suspended from school, and I think almost expelled, because I would follow a girl around campus when in elementary school, like 4th grade, because I had a crush on her, and I didn't know how to talk to her, so I followed her around the playground. Trying to talk to her because I didn't know how to talk to her. And then one day I actually said something really inappropriate, because I was trying to be funny. It was twofold. It wasn't even really about her. It was because I wanted the kids to laugh, because I wanted to be the class clown, because everybody hated me and I wanted everyone to like me. And today, I mean, it's kind of like that today. Why do you think I'm trying to become a content creator? I want people to look at me and like me. Although my reasons are different, my personal fulfillment is different. It's not based on external, it's based on internal. But I feel like I kind of solved that problem, because now people will approach me, and I can filter out who I want approaching me. Obviously, there, you know, I can't just live in fear. Okay, like women have been living in the world forever. Okay, and you know, obviously there is a little bit of an extra issue because I'm transgender. So there might be people who are attracted to me, and then they find out that, you know, I'm trans even after I have surgery. You know, I feel like after I have genital surgery, I don't have to tell people if it's just like a one-night stand, honestly. But you know, it's really hard for me not to tell people. Most people would not know if I don't tell them. So I've been practicing like just not telling people I'm trans unless it's relevant. Obviously, if I was going to be in a long-term relationship with somebody, or if I was going to, you know, have sex with somebody, obviously I want them to know what genitals they're going to expect. Okay. But if I think that's the main reason why people get, scared. Like if people feel like they're being lied to, I feel like it's because of genitals. Like if you're expecting a vagina and you see a penis, like I would understand, that would be pretty shocked. If they were expecting it, that'd be one thing. So it's like if I was going to have sex with somebody, like I would need them to know that I have that thing. But you know, I feel like after I, you know, get all my surgeries, like I don't think it's really relevant unless I'm going to be in a long-term relationship with somebody, because then it's like that's a direct part of my life. Like that's my experience. It's not just the fact that I'm trans. It's the fact that like I would not hide things from somebody if it were a long-term, like, serious relationship. I'm not really looking for a serious relationship, especially not right now, because I'm going through so many changes, like with surgery. Like, it's just so, you know, the past couple of years have been about me, okay? Like, I did have, like, a one-night stand in December, but, you know, that was a thing. And because of COVID, I really don't want to risk that anymore. It's just like I don't want to. It's too important. I can't get COVID because it'll delay my surgeries. It'll cause problems, and I've been working way too hard to get here. But I do feel like after I get my bottom surgery, I shouldn't have to tell people. If I'm just out in public and I just have a one-night stand, I feel like it might come up in conversation because it's a huge part of my life. And also as a person who's trying to become have a public career, in content creation, I feel like a lot of people would probably already know that I'm trans. So it's, it'll work itself out, I think. I can't live a private life. It's just, I don't think I'm capable of it. Eventually I just want people to know I exist and to be a part of my life, at least in auxiliary ways. Anyway, I'm like overthinking this.
I pulled up my phone and showed him my Robin Hood, and I was like, he was like, oh my god. He was impressed. I impressed this 40-year-old dude. And then he pulls out, he's like, can I put my Instagram in your phone? And I was like,
yeah, so by the way, don't fucking do this. It's so, there's like this extra like weirdness when men approach women. They would not do this if they were doing like they would not do this with a man. I mean, maybe it's different because these people are streamers like OTK, she was with Mizkif and all that, and so it's like, yeah, maybe there's it's not just based on some creepy guy. It's creepy guy, but I feel like it's multiple things. This guy's trying to talk about finances. I mean, literally talking about stocks and stuff. This guy is a freaking he's trying to leech, and there's better ways to leech, without being a freaking creeper. You in the real world, when you meet people, there's a certain decorum, okay, and there's a path. There's steps you have to take before you enter someone's life. Okay, you don't just approach someone and just because you watch their stream, they literally don't know you. You know them, but they don't know you. Okay, so it's you can't be a part of someone's life just because you watch their stream. Oh, hey, I watch your stream. I'm your friend. No, you're not. You're a random stranger. And even if you were another streamer, if you've worked together even, you're still not friends. There's a process. You could become friends, but that's a process. That's separate. That's separate from work. That's separate from stream. That there's a process with people. It starts with hello. And, you have to judge the situation a little bit. And, you don't just go up to somebody and ask them for their Instagram, and take their phone and have them follow. That's really fucking invasive. It's really invasive. It's one thing if you're hey, so I think the best advice was from Sweet Anita, is because she deals with a lot of harassment from men and women. And what she talks about is basically if somebody, because a lot of guys, they'll ask for a girl's number. But instead of doing that, because a lot of women will just give a fake number, I feel like I have a really unique set of experiences, and I'm very, very, very feminist, and I was like this even before transitioning. I just don't. I tell people to fuck off. Okay, that's my method. Okay, I get angry. Okay, that's. I mean, yeah, it could put my life in danger. I judge the situation. Obviously, I get myself to safety. I make sure I'm safe physically. But the thing is, I don't beat around the bush. But most women, if a guy approaches her and asks for a number, a lot of women will just give a fake number. So it's what Sweet Anita has said is that if you're somebody who wants somebody's number, instead of asking for her number, give her your number. Because that gives her the choice. It gives her the ability to decide. If you ask for her number, you're basically asking her to give up a lot. But especially with you have to understand that women have faced a lot of harassment simply for having a vagina, and men thinking that they have a right to someone's body just because they want it. And you know, and just because a penis fits inside of a vagina, they think that that's what women are for. And it's obviously that's basically been the entire history of harassment, of misogyny and sexism. Is basically like men, and you know, testosterone makes men kind of like physically stronger. I feel like there are downfalls to testosterone. Just like I don't think men and women are you know, we're different, but like it's not like one's weaker or stronger. Like yeah, men with testosterone makes you physically stronger, but it kind of fogs your brain. Okay, so like you have to understand, like, but it doesn't make men stupid. It's just kind of, it changes your hormones really do affect your body a lot, and it affects your brain a lot. So testosterone affects the brain a certain way, and so does estrogen. And neither is better or worse. Okay, so I don't know why there's this whole battle of the sexes kind of thing. But yeah, if you're attracted to somebody, you approach them, please don't be this fucking guy who approaches her and just like asks if she has stuff. I mean, it's one thing if you're at a bar and you're just trying to have a conversation with somebody, but don't get in someone's face. Don't act like you're friends already. Say like, hey, is it all right if I sit here? Like, I'm looking for somebody to talk to. Like, start with hello. You know, be somebody's friend. And, you know, even before friend, just be somebody who's like somebody that, you know, is a friendly person. You know, you have no expectations. You're at a bar. It's a public place. It's a place where people tend to go to socialize. You're having a drink together. That's it. Okay, there's not everybody goes, just because you're going to the bar to look for somebody to have sex with, doesn't mean somebody else is. Somebody might be going to the bar because they're out with their friends and they want to have fun with their friends. Some people are actually looking to make friends or to even have sex. So you have to like kind of figure your way around. Like, I mean, this is why I don't go out much. But if I did, I don't approach people. And not to say that if I wanted to, I would like kind of approach and I say, hey, like, is it okay if I sit here? I'm trying to, I want to, I'm trying to find somebody to talk to. And, you know, it's not necessarily that I want to be with that person. You know, don't have any expectations with people, because think about it this way. If somebody approached you and made you uncomfortable, it's not that their behavior is making you uncomfortable. It's that like they're not respecting your boundaries. So and you know, this happens. I feel like a lot of hetero men will associate like attraction towards women and change their behavior just because they're attracted. But think about it this way: if you're a hetero male and another man approaches you and is kind of pushy, like generally you're like, hey, can you back off? Like, you know, in fact, a lot of guys get like, they puff their chest out and they get like really angry and stuff. So think about it that way, that if you were a woman who is, you know, especially if you have a history of being abused, not to say that all women are abused, because not all women have a history of, you know, what defines you as a woman is not your trauma. Okay, and you know, there's so many people who say, oh, you're not a woman, you haven't grown up as a woman and experienced trauma. And I'm like, bitch, do you not know my upbringing? Do you not know the harassment I faced? Do you not know the fucking like constant like berating I've had because of my gender, regardless of whether I was perceived male or female? Because I was perceived, you know, interestingly enough and ironically, I was perceived as more feminine my whole life. I did not pass as male, which is really ironic because I, you know, but they, you know, they didn't know, they did it because that's how they were trying to get me. They were like, oh, you know, you're not a man, you're a girl or whatever, which is ironic. Because now, like, the people who are trying to harass me are doing the opposite. They're trying to tell me I'm not a woman. It's just like, it's really funny how that works out. But people you do not know somebody's past. And even then, somebody's past and their trauma is not what defines who they are. And so womanhood is not defined by whether or not you have had past trauma. which a lot of women have been harassed or assaulted or raped, which is sad, but that's not the only case, and not every woman has experienced that, and that is not a badge of honor. It is not a rite of passage. It is only abuse. It doesn't just apply to women, but it is very unique. Okay, and needs to be respected, because a lot of men will say, oh, well, men are raped too. It's like, okay, like, everybody understands this, okay? But there's like a systemic issue with harassment towards women.
Sure. And so he puts in his Instagram and like follows himself, and then it was like Miz and Connor were like making sure nothing bad was happening. Connor takes my phone and he's like, "Look, Emmy, you got his Instagram." He instantly taps on.
Good.
Yeah, so he like taps on it and like, yeah. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's really inappropriate. You don't just like assume that somebody wants to be a part of your life. Like, you know, there's like I said, I'm kind of like, you know, beating a dead horse here. Of course, I'm a perfect streamer. But you know, it's like there's steps you got to take. Okay, I'm not gonna approach Mizkif. I'm not going to approach Emiru. I'm not going to approach the Botez sisters, okay? Just because I respect them. You know, well, first of all, it's because I respect them, but not just because I respect them as individuals. I enjoy their content. I'm entertained by their content, and I'm inspired by their content. But they do not know me. They know me. They may know me from like Discord or from their stream. That's not the same. Okay, like it's one thing if they invite like, hey, like we're having an event for the Discord, like let's everybody like you know, sign up for here, and like, you know, you can pre-register. Like that's one thing if it's like a public event. But like you don't just show up, like, you know, and this goes for all celebrities. Most celebrities are just trying to live their own life. Okay, and maybe they're okay with like, you know, every now and then being approached in a very gentle way. Like, you know, maybe you're having dinner and you happen to see like Tom Hanks or something. And then people are usually like afraid to approach. Like if you really want to like approach and like you're, you know, they're, you know, you could just say like, hey, like I debated whether or not to approach you. I'm a big fan. I just thought I would say hi. You know, and like say, you know, introduce yourself a little bit, but that's it, you know, and even then that's a little awkward, but you know, depending on the celebrity, they may or may not be okay with it. And you know, generally if you truly care about a celebrity, you'd probably research that before you would ever meet them. Like if whether or not they're okay with fans approaching them. And I'm like most of these, I don't think any of these Twitch streamers would appreciate being approached by random fans. There is a process. It's one thing if they reach out to you, and if you see them in public, like especially if they're streaming, like don't stream snipe. Like it's just not cool. And yeah, maybe they might respect you for like being a little bit like, you know, I don't know, maybe, but I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. Like if I saw Miz in public, I'd be like, hey, like that's Mizkif. Like, and you know, like maybe I don't know. It's I don't know that. See, I don't want to be frozen because I feel like a lot of the times like sometimes you have to take a chance. Like, and you know, like hey, say like hey, like. My name's Rebecca, like I don't know if you know me, but I've been around the Discord and stuff like that. Just thought I would say hi, and I hope you have a good day. You know, I would try my best not to be a problem, you know? And, you know, just saying, I love what you're doing. I love your work. Like that's it. There's no other appropriate conversation. Because I literally do not know him. Like, and you know, it's one thing if it says like, oh, come on, like sit with us, like that's different. Okay, it's probably not going to happen, but it might. Okay, okay, but like I'm not going to expect that, and I feel like you know, I feel I feel like, you know, you should not have expectations. This goes with celebrities. This goes with somebody you're attracted to. You know, just treat somebody how, like, if like, you know, what if you, like, take all that out of the equation? Would you approach a random stranger doing what you are going to do? And if the answer is yes, then it's probably okay to do. But there's an additional couple of layers if that person is, first of all, if that person is a woman, and especially if you're, like, attracted to them. Second of all, if they're a celebrity, there's a little bit of extra layers of things that you probably should consider. Because I don't like being approached by random strangers, generally. Like, if I'm out in the public, it's because I'm doing something. And I'm not even a celebrity, okay? So imagine if you're a celebrity and you're used to people trying to, like, approach you, and it just gets so exhausting. It's exhausting for anybody. If I'm at the grocery store, it's even awkward when somebody says, "Hey, remember we had that college class together?" Well, like no, like, yeah, it's kind of nice. But, you know, it's like you kind of have to judge the situation, because sometimes people are okay with it. Sometimes people act like they're okay with it. But you know, it's, I don't know. Obviously, I do think that at some point, I do think at some point, like, it is important to try to take a chance, because you can't just, you know, me personally, I feel like I'm too cognizant of issues like that. Okay, it's working. Okay. Yeah, it's like something was going on. But yeah, like, maybe I'm overthinking it, but I'd rather be on the side of caution, especially with celebrities. Like, you know, I don't want to, like, be a problem. I don't want to, you know, but also, you know, at the same time, you know, things happen in the way they should. So if I were to actually, if I were to ever actually, like, be appropriate, like, you know, to talk to, like, Mizkif or like a celebrity, it would be made clear to me. Like, there would be a very specific set of circumstances leading up to it. Like, for example, like, "Hey, Rebecca, just reaching out to you. Do you want to meet for lunch?" Like, okay, okay, that's business. That's cool. It wouldn't be for anything other than business at first, you know. And, you know, you go from there. Most likely it would only be business. And, you know, I don't expect anything. And I think setting your expectations, like, there's appropriate behavior and there's inappropriate behavior. And a lot of people, I feel, like they approach people with certain expectations. They're like, "Hey, like, I'm attracted to you." It's like, okay, well, you know, I just met you, and yeah, I don't feel the same way. Like, you know, don't start off that way. Like, start off with hello, if even that. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm too cautious. Maybe I'm too respectful. For my own good. I think every now and then you should probably take a chance, but try to be tasteful. Try to be respectful, no matter what. You know, and I trust myself because I'm generally seen as a very respectful person. People generally say that I'm very kind, and that, like, when I talk to people, I don't have assumptions I don't have expectations. I like people, and whatever may happen happens, and that, you know, you figure that out as you go. Don't go in guns a-blazing expecting certain outcomes. You're gonna be upset. You're gonna be let down.
I'm ready to stream. I'm bored.
You want to tell us which platform you're going on?
Nope.
You sure? I'll turn off clips. That's fine. We can watch some anime.
Right.
Come on, just tell us. Look, the chat's excited now.
Isn't it obvious? Never mind.
No, that's not obvious for me. Did you see me take a test? Look, all right, I'm going to flip a coin. Chat, if it's heads, she's going to YouTube. Tails, she's going to Twitch.
What about Facebook?
If the coin lands on its side, then she's going to Facebook. Wait, I forgot what I said. What is heads?
I forgot too.
You're going to Facebook. Congratulations.
So I guess, you know, Mizkif, you know, he's kind of having fun. He said, yesterday he was streaming, he was taking an autism test. Okay, like, I just want to say this right now. I doubt Mizkif is watching, but he might. Who knows? It's good to take these tests in case you're wondering, like, because he does have ADHD. If he was autistic, he would have been diagnosed, I think, when he was getting diagnosed for ADHD. But honestly, like, if you think you might be on the spectrum or that you might have ADHD, those tests online are just kind of a starting point. And in my opinion, I think they're actually very, very incorrect, like very inaccurate. Because it seems like, I mean, but like, that's why you can't use it for diagnosis, because it's a set of complex things that only a licensed professional can tell. And it takes, and especially with autism, it's a very involved testing process, and it takes a lot of time. Like I'm saying, like months. And it includes like a lot of information gathering, and a lot of, like, you know, there's a lot of things that go into it. It's a very complex disorder. It's a neurological disorder. It basically, your brain is wired differently. Just like with ADHD, it's a neurodivergent disorder. Attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Okay, like disorder is not the same as a mental illness. Depression is a mental illness. Anxiety, but like stuff like that. But ADHD, autism, gender dysphoria, which is closely related to autism as well. Like they're kind of in a family of mental disorders. It doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean you're like, it doesn't mean you're stupid or that you're incapable of learning. It just means that you have a disorder that works differently. And so with autism, your brain is just wired differently and you've experienced the world in a different way. So a lot of people will take these online tests and then they'll diagnose themselves, which is fine in the interim between you having suspicions and going to a licensed psychiatrist and therapist and doctor. Like, there is a process, and just taking a test online is not enough to determine if you're autistic or not. And so obviously he's doing it for content, and maybe a lot of, obviously I think it can do a lot of good. If someone like Mizkif takes a test for autism, maybe a lot of his viewers might say, hey, maybe I'm on the spectrum. And then that starts the path towards them going to a therapy, like going to a therapist, which I feel like everybody should go to therapy. It doesn't mean you're weak. Doesn't mean you're broken. Doesn't, a therapist, a good therapist, an ethical therapist is not going to tell you you're broken and not tell you what to do. A therapist is going to help guide you in towards your path so that you can have the best outcome. And if that means a psychiatrist can give medication. If that means seeing if your therapist gets you to, hey, I want to connect you with a psychiatrist because I think if you take this medication, it can help you out a lot. Obviously, the decision is always going to be on the individual. But in the end of the day, if you want help, you need to be willing to get help, which means you have to let go of your preconceived notions and trust somebody, especially a licensed professional. Doesn't mean, obviously someone being a licensed professional doesn't mean they can't be unethical. Because there are people who do unethical things every now and then. So just be careful, try to use your best judgment, have an open mind. And if you're autistic, it doesn't mean you're broken. The diagnosis is only there to help you. It's not there to be the end all be all. It's not just a diagnosis to say that you can shit on everybody and get away with everything. That's not what it is. It's a diagnosis to help you move towards the path that will give you the best life. It's not to say you're broken and that, like, oh, you're mentally disabled or whatever. Like, that's not what it's about. It's about understanding what's going on so that you could lead yourself towards a path of living your best life.
Whoa!
Nice job, Ray. Holy shit, that's so cool.
Wow, thanks, Miz.
Ray, have you missed hanging out with me?
It's been a while. We've been planning League for like a decade.
Yeah, you plan a shit and then you just take weeks off at a time
No,
to
I
make
don't-
one video. Like,
Oh, do you want to travel anytime soon?
I don't care.
Oh my god! You're
Yeah.
He said yeah.
You can go travel.
Yeah, I can travel.
You ever think about going to
God.
check it out? Maybe you can say hi to Greek when you're
I'm
there.
so happy about that. No American Devil Woman.
Yeah, we actually came to the conclusion that American women are by far the worst.
Stop. No, Ashley's
Hey, come on. Especially Californians. Hey, come on. Me being American is, you know, like, I'm the worst because I'm the worst, not because I'm American, okay? Don't be xenophobic.
great. The other Ashley's
Terrible.
great.
All of them are just trash.
But we've been through some guys. We've been through some I love
American Devil Woman.
So about that ring on your hand, did she finally propose?
Yeah, we're getting married. It's really cringe. I got these rings on Amazon for $20. Here's it. Vicky and I have severe irony poisoning. Everything we do is ironic. Like, we're not even dating. We're actually just, like, ironically dating because it's irony, right?
Dude, you gotta love Soda Puppet, man. He just doesn't give a fucking. He's like on a whole new level compared to, like, he's been like he started all this whole streaming thing. Like, what everybody's doing now, he started. Like, he's like on a level beyond everybody else. Like, even beyond, like, Ninja got like crazy ass success, like, outside of streaming. But you know, that's different. But even before, like, he's like he's before Ninja and all that. So it's like I feel like he's just at a completely different level, and his reality is so different from anybody else on this platform. Like, I feel like he just has jokes inside of him that like nobody can understand.
And at one point, we're like making fun of jewelry, and we're like, let's ironically like just browse rings, and then we ironically found these really cheap trash rings, and we're like, ha, yeah, let's buy them, like, ironically. And then we ironically bought them, and then ironically she was like, you better not take it off. I'm like, okay, but ironically I won't. So we're just ironically wearing them.
Of course, I was not able to speak publicly about Owl while I worked at Twitch for obvious reasons. But you better believe that I was the guy in every meeting going, this is stupid and you're all stupid.
But DJ Weed's starting to become a streamer, isn't he? Like, he was just like the PR guy. Now he's actually starting to act like a streamer.
And every single person that worked on the team at that time will confirm that they got sick and tired of me talking about how terrible of a deal this was for like a year and a half. It did not feel good. I'll tell you why it didn't feel good. Because that league cost a lot of money.
You know, it's just like, if you put somebody in front of a microphone long enough, they end up going down a certain path that will end up with a certain type of like personality on microphone. Like it's like, if like, you know, it's just inevitable. Like, you just put yourself in front of a camera and a microphone. If you do it long enough, especially with an audience, like, you just end up going down certain paths. And it creates like a certain kind of persona. It's kind of interesting.
And a year later, 11 of my staff was laid off. Right? So I was especially angry.
I wonder if he's actually like emoting there. Or if it's, I mean, or if he's just being performative. I don't know. There's stages you go through, okay?
That we did this.
We're supposed to be like confident people, like, oh, it's fine. No, it's gross. It's disgusting. Yeah, I agree. It's just, it's not good. She needs to be put down, man.
What the fuck? Jesus Christ, dude.
I think it's fine.
I almost feel that you know what's funny is Slick is saying it, but I just heard that in Maya's voice. Like, I feel like Maya told him to say that. Because she's got a really kind of dark sense of humor. Like, I totally heard Maya saying that, even though Slick said it. Slick, when are you going to do more femboy streams? I want it.
I think it's done.
Oh my god. Oh, that's a good ending though. It's a good ending color. This is really good. Right? Then downwards. Then down. Yes!
Holy
no!
He's crazy. What is this?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Chat, do you think Valkyrae knows who he's talking to at all? I don't think. Do you think he literally does? I don't think he has any idea who he's talking to. Black.
Huh?
Did I ever tell you how I know Jimmy?
How come Mizkif keeps using the click? Use control. It's faster. He keeps clicking to level up his abilities. You gotta use Control Q, Control W, Control E, Control R. No, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. It's whatever he does best. I'm just giving him a hard time, okay?
How do you know Jimmy?
Oh, he does VR chat.
Wait, really? You're from VR chat?
Yeah, we just randomly met there. That's it.
Damn. Yeah, there are a lot of crazy people in VR, Miss.
Yeah, that's the only logical way me and him
What
would
do
ever
you do
meet.
for like a living, or like a streamer, or?
No, I streamed, but I quit because I only had like 100 viewers.
Oh, I see.
And
You're pretty entertaining, dude. I think you could.
I just do real
be a
estate right
streamer
now.
easily, actually.
Thank you. If you ever need a house, I got you.
Wait, really? Like a free house? Holy shit.
No, like to buy. Oh, you think I'm rich?
Oh, to buy. Oh.
If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like, and if you want to keep up with the latest news and clips, be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Like, people don't know how to punch.
I don't.
They're like, punch me as hard as you can in this arm.
Really?
Yeah, as hard as you can.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I get to punch you as hard as I can.
Nope.
I'll punch you.
Oh, that was some baiting right there. And
Just do it for free. You get one for free. Ah!
Did you break your wrist?
His hands.
Dude, S-Fan. I mean, he's. Now that's a man.
Wait, like it just broke.
Are you okay?
What the? Ow!
Are you okay?
Elena, rub his wrist. He's hurt.
Dude, I felt your wrist buckle.
Oh yes.
Like,
it did.
Literally
It did.
Not to say like, you know, toxic gender norms, you know, you don't have to be super muscular and you know, like what, you know, there's different ways to be a man. You could be slim, you can be, you can have dad bod, you could be super buff, you could be hairy, you know, that doesn't make you any less of a man. But what I'm saying, like, S-Fan's attractive, man.
Someone help this man. Peace.
All right, you guys. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed that LSF React. If you know, make sure to like and subscribe if you like these kind of React videos. I do other kind of content as well. We're working on doing the best we can. Okay, just hold on. Super low effort content, super like lowest common denominator content, but we're gonna get there. Okay. What's up, YouTube? Today, we're gonna watch some LSF React. We're gonna talk, we're gonna have some fun. Okay, I'm gonna have to like edit that in reverse. Anyways, see you guys. I'm gonna end the stream. See you, bye.